In this video I'm going to swap the handlebar of this motorbike from this stock one to this straight one that I bought on Temu. Believe it or not, it cost me around $14 including shipping, so let's give it a try. First I'm going to remove these rubber straps holding the cables in place, and then I can get to the screws holding the switch controls on the handlebar. I repeat the same process on the other side of the handlebar, and I have to say that finding the screws is pretty intuitive to be able to distinguish which one is the one holding it on the handlebar so that you don't unscrew something else. On both sides the process was similar. First I unscrewed the switch controls and then I unscrewed the levers for the brake and for the clutch. This part got a little bit tricky because to be able to remove the lever of the clutch, I had to get rid of this rubber on the handlebar, and it was really stuck after all those years of sitting there. So I tried to stick a screwdriver underneath it to loosen it a bit, but it wasn't that successful. I tried another tool, a little metal stick that could take all the length without being sharp on the ends. I tried to rotate it around. It loosened it a bit, but I couldn't get it all down. So then I got the idea to go for the WD-40 and it worked like a champ. Finally, I got to removing these covers from the screws of the mounting of the handlebar itself. I was concerned that on my new handlebar the T-Think will not fit this mount, but the mount itself had its teeth gone a long time ago, so clearly it wasn't an issue anymore. Finally, I got to the point of removing it entirely, and for the first time I could try what would the new look of my motorcycle be like. Now, since these controls were down and open, I took the opportunity and looked at the blinking beam button not functioning properly, which is something I noticed last time I was testing the bike, and my suspicion was that it was dirt, so I blew it with a compressor, but it started to rain, so I had to catch a break, and after the rain stopped, finally I could go back to it. After cleaning it with a compressor, I removed a kind of golden plate that was there holding the cables in place so that I can get a little bit closer to the button for the beam blinking. I sprayed it with a conducting spray that helps the electric contacts to be more conductive, and it worked, as also spraying it brought all the mess that was hidden there underneath it. It brought it all out and it really cleaned all the mess that was probably stopping the trigger from making the connection to make the lights go on. So I was really happy that I didn't get the new control switches on Temu as well, because it actually worked just cleaning this out and getting the contacts to be more conductive and clear of any dirt. After putting the golden plate back to hold the cables in their position, I could finally move on to another task. And that was nothing else other than bringing it back to the new handlebar and seeing how it will actually fit. And just in right time, help arrived to help me address an issue with a kill switch that was sometimes killing and sometimes not the power to the motorcycle.
How is it even possible, huh? Okay, how does it work?
Go down, more down.
Ah,
That's probably the cable.
cable.
The way it's moving.
Yeah, the position of the
Yeah,
cable.
the position of the cable.
So after quick inspection, the issue was clear. As you can see, the cables are chewed, and that basically bypasses the switch button to kill it as it's feeding itself before it even reaches the kill switch.
No wonder it didn't work last time. You switch it off, but the cables, they don't need to even reach the switch. They're already connected. That's how it's supposed to be. Kill switch kills.
With that being fixed, it was time to put it back on the new handlebar. We reattached the throttle cable to the housing underneath the tank so that it would nicely return when you use the throttle.
Let's try.
So here we are happily testing that everything is working as it should from all that we've repaired so far, and that was the light high beam blinking and the kill switch all working properly. Now there was one thing left to be readjusted as we've noticed it in our little test ride. And that was the clutch. It was basically engaged all the time, so even when you put first gear and release the clutch, it wouldn't die.
Does it die? Want to make it. That's right. Yeah.
And since finally everything was done, one thing left to do was changing my air filter for a little bit smaller one, because the cone fell a little bit too big and probably allowed a little bit too much air into the whole system for this little bike.